Wait a minute. I've been thinking.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the sixth episode of Left Click Culture Podcast. Thank you for that wonderful musical intro, Joe. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. How about you, Chris?
Doing pretty good.
Chris.
Running a little late, but we're here once again. Talk about the latest and our opinions on gaming news and
Hey, it's still light out,
content
okay?
creation. It is.
So, that's a thing.
On today's episode of the podcast, we're once again joined by Joe, who's already introduced himself, and Nick. How's it going, Nick?
It's going pretty good. I can't complain.
Awesome. Happy to hear. What have you guys been up to since the last podcast?
Not
really
much.
Oh,
Not much. Just doing a lot of real world stuff, you know.
Fair enough.
Outside things.
Fair enough. A lot of outside Pokemon Go things, or is that kind of died down a little bit?
A bit of everything. It's died down a bit for me, just because I do like sleep.
Fair.
So I haven't been doing as much of that, but no, it's still going strong.
Nice.
Oh.
Happy to hear. What about you, Joe? What have you been up to?
Nothing really. Besides work. Just been doing a lot of work.
Yeah,
Then I play a little bit of Overwatch.
when people are on.
Yeah. Besides that, I finished Entourage again.
Nice.
Classic show. One of my
Very good
favorites,
one.
I have to say. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of sad, right? When that's like, oh, it's news for me. I just finished a series again. Ha 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 ha. But it's because I'm like sitting here working, so I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that bad.
Gotta have something going on while you're plugging away, burning the midnight oil into the 4
Yeah.
a.m. oil, all that fun stuff.
The too fun oil.
So you said you're still playing Overwatch. How's that going?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's hard to get 6 people on,
Yeah, as we're learning. Well,
but
I'd say learning, but we're pretty familiar with that concept already.
because we have like 8 people that we know that play, but it's hard to get all of us playing at once for some reason.
Yeah,
So.
everybody seems to disappear at different times. But yeah, so you've been
Yeah.
playing anything else other than Overwatch, or is that still like your main jam right now?
Yeah, I don't. I'm just, me. I'm a one-game queen, man. So.
Yes, very true.
Oh, hey. So yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I've been really. No, it's Overwatch really if I have time.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Did you check out WoW anymore, or do you just kind of hop in, check out the Survival Hunter, and then hop back out of that?
I logged in. I opened my mail. I saw that there was a stick that they gave me to use as Survival Hunter, and then
That's
Um,
toothpick.
I did a couple of shipyard things because I wanted to finish that out. But yeah, I haven't after my UI broke with the new pre-patch. I kind of just really didn't feel like updating my UI, so I haven't logged in yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, you know how annoying that is, like
Yeah.
repositioning
It's
everything.
one of my least favorite things is either when you get a UI, your profiles just suddenly disappear and you have to reset up everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun. I remember when I used to use Dominoes, and that shit was such a pain in the ass if that got lost because you had to reconfigure every bar, all the padding, all the sizing, all your hotkeys. Never fun.
Yeah, UIs are not great. And wow.
Can be. They're just annoying at times. So what about you, Nick? What have you been playing this week?
Played some WoW and Overwatch over the weekend.
Nice.
Haven't played anything the past couple of days and just playing some Hearthstone right now, but that's really about it, you know.
Nice. Did you see the rumors are pointing towards Karazhan for being
did.
the next?
It's actually supposed
we
to be
haven't already
announced
discussed that.
tonight at 11, so
Very cool.
whenever that happens, should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised I didn't try to get it out closer to the movie's release, given the tie-in there.
It's, there's
What
something
can you
with
do?
some Chinese Hearthstone event that's going on with which is why they're releasing it
Ah,
um today. Or not today, or announcing it today. They have a set. The thing is though, the same thing like how they are. They're the same way as Magic the Gathering is. With they have these releases planned, year to 2 years ahead of time. So
Yeah. Did you guys see that Arthas bronze statue that was crafted for, I think it was a Taiwanese branch of Blizzard or something like that?
I did not.
Crazy. Thing's like 8 feet tall, and because his cape is blowing in the wind, it's like 14 feet wide. And it's just all cast bronze. It looks sick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Neat little video. I think I found it on Facebook the one day. Oh yeah, I haven't touched WoW as much as I thought I was going to following the pre-expansion patch. I logged in like once and it was just like, okay, set up my talents, kind of messed around with the rogue stuff as we talked about last week. Other than that, I've been checking out a couple of new things. Continuing to check out the Cunning Stunts DLC for GTA Online with some people from the Funhouse community. It's still been a lot of fun. They just released some even more maps. I think another 5 maps and 3 cars this week that I haven't had a chance to check out. But really looking forward to do that. They nailed that with that DLC. Just all sorts of crazy fun jumps and ramps. It's been a good time. And the other big thing I checked out this week is Double Fine's new game, Headlander. Did you have a chance to check that one out when we were at PAX, Nick?
No, I have no idea what that is, to be completely honest with you.
The best way I can think to describe it is it's a Metroidvania style game with an Archer sense of humor and like a 70s aesthetic. So everything's like super glowy and there's lots of like browns and like natural reds and deep yellows. So it's been a lot of fun. It's a funny game, pretty enjoyable. Definitely no complaints on my end. So far, I think I played it for 3 hours on stream the other night.
Fuck.
Well timed.
Oh, I just got alted by McCree, dude. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
That's right. But yeah, it's been an enjoyable ride through that little area so far.
Well, it's good to hear.
Yeah. Looking forward to checking out more of it, so if that says anything, I think that might be any indication. If I'm looking forward to devoting more time to this, then, it can't be the worst thing in the world.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of the things in the game are like color based. So in order to get through certain doors, you have to have a certain color body because you play as a head for most of the game that can attach to different things and detach from other things. It's pretty funny. Like at some point, or at one point, you have to find some lady's dog and bring it back to her. But the way you bring it back to her is by becoming the dog, by ripping its head off and then walking its body back to the lady. And it gets back to her, and she's just like, "Oh, something's different." And she's like, "Yeah, your dog's missing its head. That's what's different. Because I kind of ripped it off. My bad."
Oh, it sounds interesting. I'm probably not really gonna check it out, most likely.
I
But
think I want to say I picked it up early for like $12. So retail, it's probably 15, 16, somewhere around there.
maybe in the future, if it doesn't
$20.
sale
That's
for
what
like
it is.
a few dollars, but
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I fought my first boss. That was great. It was a giant chess head. I wasn't expecting the game to have bosses, so to say. So that's pretty neat. It's
Neato.
yeah, all the different like rays, but it runs at a pretty smooth 60 on my computer. But with that said, as soon as I get too many beams on screen with my 970, it's just like, oh shit, like drops down to 30 because it has to render all the beams and their geometry and their particle effects independently, and that's when I start seeing frame drops. Other than that, it's funny. All the different bodies have like different effects, and you can get different upgrades for your head, whether it be like a faster beam or a shield to help protect and deflect some other beams. It's a neat little game. Neat little
You're a
experiment.
beam.
It's nice to see Double Fine still knows how to make interesting, funny games.
yeah, they always put out
Broken
solid content most of the time.
most of the time. It's nice that it's a finished game, which it's published by Adult Swim Games, so that might be why it wasn't completely their responsibility to make sure this one got finished. But yeah. Other than that, I've just been playing the stables lately of Overwatch, and yeah, Overwatch and Grand Theft Auto have been taking up most of my time this past week.
Yeah, you've been playing a lot of that GTA stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun hopping in with the community and just messing around. We did heists the one night, or started to do heist setups the one night, and God, that just I hadn't done that since we last did them, so all that was like almost new again, including all the frustrations. So that was fun.
I remember those times. Not fun times.
I'm looking forward to going back and finishing up the heist with those guys, though. It's been a good time. Yeah. Speaking of Overwatch, I guess suppose we can go ahead and transition on to that part of the podcast. There was a tiny little minor patch release that buffed the new hero Anna, and also I could guess you could say buffed McCree. I'm not sure if you guys saw the patch notes yet.
Yeah, I took a look at them.
Yeah. What do you guys think of these changes?
I think McCree's more balanced now.
Think they're getting him balanced out finally?
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's like, because it's almost like Maze Icicle, and I talked to Austin about this because he plays it a lot, and it was like Maze Icicle you can hold, and it kind of gives you that like timing where you can kind of sway your character and just kind of, you know what I mean, like Genji where you can kind of just throw the chakrams or whatever the hell they're called.
Shuriken.
Shrike-in, yeah,
Yeah.
those things. You know what I'm saying though? Like, you can get like this little cadence where you're just throwing around the corner or just shooting around the corner
Yeah.
because you have that like little lead time.
Mm-hmm.
Where McCree, it's like you have to hit the shot.
Yeah.
So I can respect the damage output that it gives because of that. You
Mhm.
know?
It rewards that high accuracy,
Yeah.
high skill play.
And I think that's what makes it cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think the buff's cool.
Yeah. I think the one for Anna was much needed too. For those of you who don't know, Anna's rate of fire got increased by 20%, and her magazine clip size was upped from 8 to 10 rounds, which is good because she can do both more damage and more healing at a higher rate now, which is nice. So it makes you feel like a more effective healer. At least I only got to mess with her around in that one skirmish we did the other night since the patch. And even that just felt better. They're getting shots off faster, so it's easier to hit like tracers if they're darting around, or Genjis with multiple shots. And then you can just heal them for more overall too, which is never a bad thing. And then McCree I haven't played since, but they reduced his damage fall off range and upped his rate of fire for his fan hammer, which is alright. So he's back to being around. I think it's still slightly nerfed from launch, his rate of fire for that fan the hammer. And the other thing they did too is reduce the stun time on his grenade for his flashbang.
I haven't played since the newest those two changes, so I'm not really sure how much of a difference they make. However, I like what I've read from just the patch notes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't feel bad when we were playing the other night. You know, Austin still continued to play McCree, so clearly he's not like broken or anything. You know, the McCrees that we played against were feeling pretty fair. I think they're really starting to get him balanced out. And unfortunately we got 2 maps pretty much the entire night, and none of them were very suitable for Anna, so I didn't really get a chance to check her out. But I'm looking forward to doing so. If the opportunity comes up next time we play. The other little bit of Anna news, I don't know if you guys saw this, is that if you gang up with some friends to put a player permanently asleep by chaining your sleep cooldowns, turns out it'll get you a nice ban for trolling. I don't know if you guys saw anything about that.
I didn't, but that I get why that would be a ban.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that's stupid.
Yeah, I think there should be some sort of diminishing returns, at least a greater diminishing returns if it doesn't already exist.
I think partially because I can see how they could do it so it's not like people would do it so it's not a troll, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because if there's legitimately one player who is causing issues, I guess, and you want to constantly put him to sleep, I can see how that would make sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
just,
The weird thing is this doesn't affect competitive at all since you can only have one Ana.
yeah.
So it's just a quick play thing. And it's just, they knew people are going to try it, see how long you can get somebody to sleep for. So I wonder, I didn't like read the article itself, but I wonder what the circumstances were that got so extreme that this person got banned for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but that's kind of funny though.
Yeah, I got a good chuckle out of it too. Yeah, not too much going on in Overwatch other than that. Just still having fun, still playing it. Looking
Won't take
forward
long.
to the end of this first season and the beginning of the next one so that we can see what all Blizzard has learned.
When does this season end?
End of August, I think. So soon, about a month. Month left in season 1 to get those top 500 ranks if you want to get those sick animated sprays. Which is crazy that it's August in 2 days. No. 4 days. Yeah. Nuts. So speaking of other competitive games and events happening around them, that was a really poor segue. A German TV network pulls the airing of the E-League following the shooting that happened in Munich, which is fairly interesting. The part about the reporting on this headline that bothers me is that most of them mention that the shooter was a Counter-Strike player. I'm just like, I thought we'd gone past this as a society, but I guess not. Did you guys hear about this at all?
I did.
No.
Well, I did see a little bit of it. I didn't read too much into it, but because I just don't like. I don't want to waste my time with that stuff because the narrative has been around so long when stuff like this happens, and
Yeah, dude, it's
I
Marilyn
just
Manson.
don't agree with
Eminem.
it. And yeah, I mean it's in different media all the time. It's before it was music and movies, and now
It's
it's
Call of
video.
Duty.
Even
Yeah.
though it's been proven to have no correlation, this kind of like shit still gets reported on. It's troublesome. It's bothersome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
no,
think
it's
kind of U.S. is kind of ahead in those areas, Just at least to some European
You would hope
countries.
so, but still,
uh,
the U.S. still does a lot of reporting on it. There's still a lot of misinformation being spread around about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
What really sucks too is that because it's canceled in Germany, your final four are Navi, Fnatic, VP, and Mouse. So just like, oh, you guys want to
home
watch
team.
your home team on TV?
Yeah.
Ah, sorry, you can't, because one guy was an avid player of Counter Strike Source. Just like that sucks. Are they not going to air like, I don't know, fucking Die Hard on TV now because of this event? Like,
Yeah,
where
like
exactly
why?
do you draw the line
Yeah, the
for that
line
kind of
of
stuff?
what you actually fucking show on TV.
We cannot
Like
ignore.
if somebody
Yeah.
was getting their head cut off, they'd show that, right? They'd be like, viewer discretion advised, but they'd still show you that shit.
Yeah, that's an interesting point actually. Just like, why don't they throw up like this game depicts simulated violence, viewer discretion advised or whatever like that.
But they'd rather like put up like a news story of some building burning or like 17 kids dying,
Yeah. Germany's interior minister was quoted as saying, "We cannot ignore that glorifying of violence in internet games has a damaging effect on the development of young people," which
even
is completely
though
contrarian
Prove
to
the
all
effect.
the evidence.
hasn't been
that states
proven to be
otherwise.
true, I did a thing on it.
Yeah, this
You did a
is
thing on it.
something near
In
and dear to
college.
my
This
heart,
just
so I pay
in.
attention to this too.
Dick the
Yeah,
Nils did a
excellent.
thing on it, so
Not
it's true.
Yeah, it's just clearly this guy hasn't done his research.
Nope, not
Yeah.
at all.
It's disheartening to see because stop spreading misinformation about this kind of shit. It's not true. Knock it off.
No, dude, he's the prime wizard of France or whatever.
Germany's interior minister.
He is the prime wizard of Germany. I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like, what does this
Yeah.
guy expect? Like, really? When you talk like that, you should have a friggin' like weird ass folklore rank. That's folk. He's creating folklore, right? You should have that title.
Yeah. And then
The
Robert
Jester.
Heimberger, president of the Bavarian State Crime Office, referred to Counter-Strike as a game played by nearly every known rampage killer.
Okay, that's a little ridiculous. I didn't
Yeah.
see that. But...
Ted Bundy,
This is
big
according
1.6 player.
An article
Just in case you didn't know.
by Polygon. Yeah, just like, God, this... Talk about not wanting to incite a panic. about something and you're kicking up a storm of nothing, of misinformation and false reports, and then you cancel the TV show.
Yeah.
That
That's
sucks.
pretty dumb. I mean, like the whole thing is like, at least my take on terrorism is like
Mm-hmm.
their whole like objective is to get you to fear living, the way you live.
Yeah.
So why would you let it affect you? I mean, obviously acknowledge
A
the
tragedy.
the tragedy and the people who fall into it, but
Mm-hmm.
don't, as a society. And that's kind of like why they rebuilt like the tower, in New York City. It's like we're not going to let that take us down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the same thing. It's like we as a human being, a culture shouldn't just let bad, influences tear down everything, I guess, right?
Yeah. I suppose the good news is for those German viewers who are looking to watch it, it's going to be streamed on Twitch still by the sounds of it. And apparently it's also being broadcast on Twitter, which I didn't know about until reading this article. That's interesting.
Twitter livid.
Yeah. Yeah, so they'll still be able to watch it, just not on TV, which makes the whole thing even more
Which
asinine.
was the point of the league to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, semifinals are on tomorrow at 8 Eastern. No,
Down to your
it's
local
early.
Wild Wings and
Yeah.
Your local
uh,
Wild Wings.
They
swear to
partnered
God,
with
man,
Wild
they'll
Wings.
put it on. Yeah,
Really?
Yep.
swear to God, you
Put
go
on
to
that
Wild
old
Wings, ask them to
CS:GO
put it on,
tournament?
they'll do it.
Why is this like a known thing? Like, does
Yeah.
Wild Wings say, "Come get a bucket of wings and watch CS:GO
Well,
live
no,
on Friday"? Or is it just like you went to Buffalo Wild Wings and they did that for you?
No, they're
it's
a
sponsored
sponsor.
by Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yep. I guess it'd be pretty cool. I've thought about going to see, yeah, semifinals, 10 o'clock Eastern, and the finals, which is the best of three. That's interesting. Why not a best of five? But whatever. Saturday at 4. Okay, so it's earlier Saturday.
I might go
So
Saturday.
I kind of want to go just to be able to watch it in an actual event, or like an actual venue. I think that would be pretty cool. Hey, can you put
Yeah,
on
no,
TBS? Thanks. Speaking
This
of,
makes me think of that like Hall Pass movie. They're like, I know where to meet girls. Fridays or whatever.
Buffalo
Like,
Wild Wings watching Counter Strike Go.
yeah, they're just like so done with after eating. They're like, okay, we're going home. It's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry.
that's right. This made me think of stuff coming out this weekend. Bourne movies coming out this weekend. This isn't gaming related at all, but I'm hyped to go see that.
It's just gonna be a bad influence. We should ban that from the theaters and the
Yeah,
media.
definitely. You don't want to incentivize, what do they call that? Vigilante justice.
Yes.
Rogue agents taking back control of their lives. Banned in
Hey,
Germany.
this
Heard it here first. New Bourne movie banned in Germany. Can't watch it in theaters.
banned in Germany.
Speaking of things on TV, or coming to TV, rather, I don't know if any of you guys have played Life is Strange, the point and click adventure game, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
I haven't played it. I know what it is though.
Is being developed into a made for TV series by Legendary, which is interesting. I haven't played it myself either, but I've been watching Jesse Cox and Dodgers playthrough of it on YouTube, and have been enjoying the game that way. Because it's a game I never intended to play, but watching them play through it's been enjoyable. I'm curious to see how the show's gonna do. I guess they're looking for writers right now, so it's still a little bit down the ways, but interesting news nonetheless. The small game is being developed into a TV series.
Kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Be curious to see if it does well, if we see more of this stuff in the future. I would certainly hope so. It's the kind of stuff I'd like to see on TV more, provided it's done well. But that's just me.
Oh, for sure.
For those of you who are looking to check out Life is Strange, you can actually get episode 1 for free through Square Enix's website, I think. I tweeted about it a while ago. So if you're curious about what the game is, you play as a high school girl named Max who finds out she has time travel powers, essentially. and she must deal with the consequences of that and the strange events going on in the town of Arcadia Bay, which is where the game is set. Stuff like snowstorms and eclipses in the middle of summer and birds just falling out of the sky dead. All that kind of like apocalyptic level stuff.
Is there a lot of consequences for being able to time travel?
Yes and no. It's a choice game, so you get to make choices as you go, and you can choose, like, if you screw something up, you can choose to, like, rewind and fix it, or your, actions will have consequences later on. It's that kind of thing. So you're not always sure what your consequences are going to be when you make a decision, but sometimes, like, smaller things, you can fix them right away.
Huh. It's like a Goosebumps novel.
Kinda, yeah. Like a pick your own adventure, or choose your own adventure. Yeah, I've enjoyed watching it. I still have no intention of playing it. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing I would play. It comes from somebody who enjoys playing point and click adventure games. But if you want to check that out, if it sounds like it's your jam, you can get episode 1 for free. Somewhere, search it. I'll probably include a link to it in the link dump down below this video, if that sounds like your thing. Make it easier for you to find. Strange. Great spelling. Anyway, that was a neat little bit of information I saw when I was doing research for today's episode. Thought I'd pass that on to you guys. You guys being the audience and you guys being my co-hosts.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, you guys.
It's been kind of a slow week for gaming news, so not a whole lot going on other than people freaking out over Nintendo's.
Fail? Their stocks dropped, man.
Yeah, it's like everybody realized Nintendo had nothing to do with Pokemon Go other than being part owners of the Pokemon company or the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah,
And they're just
but
like,
not.
oh, yeah. Philip DeFranco was tweeting that because he sold his shares of Nintendo stock he bought after the launch of the game when their stock was at like twice its normal price, he would have lost like $40,000 had he waited a day to sell the shares because it was like after everybody realized that Nintendo had nothing to do with it.
So
And the
he
stock
bought
price
it
plummeted.
thinking that Nintendo owned it.
No, he bought it seeing that it was on the rise and it was only going to go higher, and then he just had
Oh.
like a gut feeling to sell it on a Friday before the markets closed, and when they opened back up Monday is when it started crashing again.
Oh, classic gut feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
My uncle had a gut feeling once.
A gut
Bought
feeling
some
to tell him,
Microsoft shares.
I was
Yeah.
going to say pass up on some Apple stock.
Yeah.
Apple, they're not going to be anybody. They're just building computers in their garage.
Apples. I'm not investing in no fruit company.
Yeah, crazy stuff. That's been a lot of the news going on. Other than that, it's rehashed information. More people trying to like clickbait people with Pokemon Go related titles and videos. All
Oh,
kinds of stupid stuff.
I hate that. I hate when they try to make their brand relevant through current content like that. If it's not applicable, if you're not fucking selling some kind of ergonomic smartphone holder that gives you less carpal tunnel for holding your phone, then just shut the fuck up.
It's funny that you say that. There's a company that designed like a 3D printed iPhone case so that you throw the Pokeball perfectly every single time.
Too bad it's bugged and it'll serve it for you, but that's none of my business.
Hey, just means you don't have to be one of the people that buys the case.
Exactly.
Just in case. Right?
Yeah, there's like a bar out this way though that I saw last weekend that was advertising their Pokemon burger, and I'm just like, why? Why? You guys aren't even like a Pokestop or anything. You're just naming a burger a Pokemon burger for no reason whatsoever.
You're just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to
Cash
market.
in. Yeah. But that's not really news. That's just a gripe, a personal gripe.
Crack qualms.
And things that are slightly more interesting. We got information about Doom's next bit of content, including the free update 2, which is just new maps launching Friday, along with 2 new multiplayer modes and a bunch of snap map content. So if you're still playing Doom or Doom's multiplayer, good on you. I haven't checked it out since it took responsibility for how shitty it was. Oh, and double XP weekend starting tomorrow. So there you go. And then the week after that, the first premium multiplayer download content, which is dubbed Unto Evil, launches on the 5th, and it has 3 multiplayer maps, new player-controlled demon, a new weapon, which is a pistol, which is weird, and cosmetics, and a new piece of equipment, the kinetic mine, which will get all that for low price of $15. Which, if you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. I still don't understand how map packs are a thing that people pay for. I understand that you want to support the development of a game, but goddamn, I don't know. I'm okay with cosmetic stuff. If you want to pay for cosmetic stuff, cool. But give everybody the fucking maps. It's only gonna make your game last longer.
I agree. I don't know.
Give everybody the
For the most
maps.
part.
Yeah, want to play devil's advocate?
Certain games. I don't know. Like when I play Call of Duty, and most of the time I'll buy at least the first map pack or two. I used to buy them all because they were actually pretty great. Most of the time, not anymore so much. But I don't know. I think that depending on the price, there doesn't necessarily have to be an issue. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, but
I don't.
okay, so let's look at this one.
I think recently it's gotten out of hand a lot compared to what it used to be when in terms of that kind of stuff. There are franchises that do it very well, but most don't because most nowadays announce map packs before the game's even out. So
which is shitty.
Yeah.
So this one in particular, you get, what do they say? 3 new maps, a new demon, a new weapon, player cosmetics, which aren't listed in this article, and a new piece of equipment for $15. I think that's a little high for essentially 3 maps and some cosmetic stuff. An unknown amount of cosmetic stuff, according to this. I could look it up, but not that interested.
Yeah, that seems a little excessive.
Oh yeah, so if you're still playing Doom, you got content coming out your way. I haven't finished Doom, even though I enjoyed it greatly, and I spent all of 20 minutes in the multiplayer.
Yeah, I haven't played it at all, so unfortunately.
It's not a bad game. The single player is worth playing. They're trying to fix the multiplayer themselves, I guess, because people who did Halo 5's multiplayer did it, and it's Doom-skinned Halo multiplayer, which isn't what people wanted at all. Like, it didn't even have a traditional deathmatch. So
No, I definitely plan on picking it up at some point. When that is, who knows? But I do
it
plan
didn't
on
drop
getting
too
it.
much during the summer sale in price, so it might be a little bit before it gets like dirt cheap. Maybe closer to this winter, which isn't that far away, which is scary as hell. But yeah, that's that news. So, and other news of things launching or not launching. Apparently, an indie dev forgot to release their game, which is something I haven't heard of before in my entire time of following the games industry. Posted the link to the article in chat, and this article is from Kotaku. And apparently, the developer was detailing the process of what you need to do in order to get your game published on Steam. And one of those things is hitting a button in Steamworks saying ready for final approval from Steam, which apparently takes about 2 to 5 days, and they had planned on releasing it today of all days, but when they realized, oh shit, we hadn't hit the button yet, it was already past that 2 to 5 day clearance period, so now they're just delaying the launch a week.
I have never heard of something like that happening, but it's really funny.
That was like the intro of that indie game movie that I watched. That you guys both, I think, watched.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like his game Meat Boy.
Super
What's it
Meat
called?
Boy?
Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
It wasn't on Xbox on launch day on the marketplace.
Yeah, that the old Xbox like marketplace was apparently just garbage. A really like big pain in the ass to use.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
I mean, I haven't had Xbox since Xbox. So
Old
yeah,
Xbox, the first one. I can't even say one now, but
yeah, just
The
Xbox.
OG Xbox.
I had the Xbox, or yeah, I think I have it with me actually. No, I have my PS2 because PS2 plays DVDs, and Xbox you'd have the edition.
Yeah, you had to fucking buy a different bay.
Because Microsoft's like, we're gonna become Apple of the fucking game component industry.
And then they shot themselves in the foot again by hedging their bets on HD DVD with the release of the Xbox 360, which was interesting. And then a lot of people used their PS3s as a Blu-ray player for a long time because it was the cheapest Blu-ray player you could get, which is hilarious. But whatever, got more people on the platform,
yeah.
so I guess they can't complain too much. You guys have any stories that you've seen this week that have piqued your interest?
I was looking at some stuff. Nothing really, really too interesting that would be related to this, I guess. Oh, there was one. Dota. I didn't look too much into it. I just saw it. Dota 2 released their VR, or I don't know if Steam released it or Dota 2 did it.
I do think I saw something about this on Twitter.
So you can watch now Dota 2 game. I don't know if you're able to play it, but you can definitely watch Dota 2 games in VR now, and like with like an Oculus headset and stuff, and it's really cool. The
Yeah,
early reviews from people that have the tech
curious
say
how it works.
it's very interesting. I have see if I can find the video on it.
Let's see.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Crazy Dota 2 VR spectator mode they teased back in March.
We
So,
have like a
do you get
VR at work, and nobody's been able to use it yet because none of our computers can run it. Well, like that, besides like 2 people.
I was gonna say, can't your? I imagine your render farm would be able to.
Oh,
run it.
Yeah,
Dota
like
2
there's
it
those
looks
people can.
really cool, and I'm interested to see where it goes, and I can't wait to get my hands eventually on a VR headset.
Oh wow, you can get like right down on the map.
Yeah, it's literally like what you would dream of it being.
That's pretty neat. That's gotta be a little like confusing in fights. Maybe not though. I don't know. Like Dota's confusing to me to begin with. So
Yeah, I just kind of watch and kind of try and understand what's going on, but never really do.
fair enough. Yeah. I also saw in relation to Dota news that their major is coming up. Ooh, that's loud. Why did you unmute yourself? And it's already has the highest prize pool of any esports event, which is nuts. Because their
I
last
know
one broke records, didn't it?
they blew it out of the water. Yeah, this year they're already higher. So who knows where it'll go from here.
Curious to see what it's at, because it's been no, that's Frankfurt. Was it Shanghai this year? Looks like it might be Shanghai. According to Dota2 PrizeTracker.kr, total prize pool is at $3 million right now for the Shanghai Major, which is absolutely nuts, with first place taking over $1.1 million home with them. 16th place gets $30,000. I'd take that.
Yeah, that's kind of insane.
But yeah, Dota's not my thing, never really been my thing, so kudos to those who follow along with it and enjoy playing it, because I can't do it.
You know, it takes a special kind of person to play that. No way.
Like, I've tried my hands at League. League was okay for a while, had some fun with League for a while, and then same thing with Heroes of the Storm. Had some fun with that for a bit, and Smite.
Yeah.
I've MOBA hopped around. I just never found that one that really like grabbed me.
Heroes for
and
me
sold
got boring very quickly. Because I don't know, it's all about the team fights in that game. It just I don't know, it got boring. I was not a fan. I mean, it's a good game, but
Yeah, I was of the mindset that I thought The team fights made the game a little bit more interesting, at least.
I don't know. That's just my
Yeah, that's just me though.
personal opinion, obviously.
Anything else you saw this week that piqued your interest?
Not that I saw, no. Fortunately.
Shit.
What about you, Joe? Did you see anything interesting?
The Nintendo thing is probably the most interesting thing I saw.
Just about their stock not doing well.
Yeah. Google added a change to their map that uses more like location information, and I think it's kind of a tweak based on what they've seen from Pokemon Go.
Oh, that actually brings. There's something I'd like to add to that.
Okay.
With when Google changed their location stuff, it actually affected Pokemon Go. So now, and I've noticed it myself, that like little like parks and stuff that had pathways and stuff were previously mapped, and now like little pathways and stuff aren't on the map anymore.
Hmm.
So it's not a huge thing, because you can, I mean, you can still walk them obviously and stuff, but it makes the map not as clear
Do
in a
you
way.
think it's a problem that Pokemon Go hasn't updated, or do you think it just
It
broke
could be.
something in the Google
I think it's a
product
Pokemon Go
somewhere?
related thing, but
Okay.
I just know that happened at the same time. But
That is kind of interesting, though.
Yeah, so Google just telling us how to use the internet.
Yeah, they made a whole like big deal about, hey, we're changing the way things work. Make sure you agree to these things if you want to continue to get the best quality Google experience. These things being more storing of how you use the internet and location settings and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, I heard that in like the terms of service and Drive, you basically like give them control of your shit.
I'm not sure.
So
I didn't pay too much attention to it.
yeah, neither does Grandma and Danio and Jim Bob.
Most of the like things that they've walked you through are all about location settings and storing more how you use the internet. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. As long as you're not like selling my information, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I'm on the same
Do whatever.
wavelength.
I still remember
Like,
freshman year of
make the internet
college.
better.
Yeah. If you need to like keep track of what sites I'm visiting to offer me more targeted ads, please do, because I'm sick. Like, I'd rather like see an ad for something I just searched for than see like some random ass bullshit ad that has nothing to do with me.
That's a lot
That's
more
my mindset.
on the companies, I think, too.
Hmm.
Just like defining their SEO and their AdWord campaigns,
Yeah.
remarketing strategies.
I remember the first time Google made that really big push to like store user information. It was like freshman year of college, and one of my guys that I knew that lived right across the hall, he was freaking out about it. He was telling everybody to like delete their Google accounts because they're gonna start like tracking you and storing all of your information and doing all this like obnoxious stuff with it. And I was just like, no, they're just like saving your basic information so they can build like a profile of you so they can offer like more targeted ads and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I imagine there's a similar response from this bigger update to that initial update. Some people are gonna say it's too much, and other people are gonna go like, whatever. I'm in the camp of whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop using Google's products because they're keeping track of more stuff. And if you don't like it, you could opt out of some of it anyway. So it's not a huge deal. If you're gonna continue to do your weird stuff, then don't use Chrome, I guess. Here's your tip for the night. Don't use a Gmail account and don't use Chrome. Stay off an Android
I think
device.
those people are on Tor browser already. They're doing weird shit.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere on the internet, the open internet, that's safe anymore.
No, everything's being tracked to some extent. Saved,
So
tracked, building
need to
the
go to them
profile of
deep
you.
webs.
Yeah. I'd actually go on to Google's ad settings and change my profile because it was just like, oh, you like art and all this other stuff. And I was just like, no. I'm not going to tell you
No.
what I really like.
Porn.
And brought it up in
Mask
Discord the
on
other
his
night.
porn and Doritos.
Yeah, it was
Got a
funny.
real porn Doritos guy over here.
Porn Doritos. Yeah, just a regular old Kremlin. Get
Not
my
like
Doritos and
porn
Mountain
tasty
Dew.
Doritos, just like porn and Doritos.
Yes. 'Cause there's nothing I like than
I
eating
felt
dirty
like I needed
foods while
to
getting dirty.
clarify. Some people could have mistaken it for a serious.
For cereal. I don't doubt it. Uh, yeah, slow news week for gaming this week. Oh, one more thing. I just looking over our topic list here that we forgot to cover is that Arcane Studios, the developers of Dishonored and the new Prey game, want everybody to know that this new Prey, what is it, 2017 or whatever, has absolutely nothing to do with the old Prey games you remember from the Xbox 360, which I'm okay with because I heard those games were really weird and really bad. I'm looking forward to the new one after having seen their announcement trailer at E3 this past year. This one actually has piqued my interest with their like horror sci-fi setting.
It was definitely something. It was a game, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
it's exciting. It was something new, which is nice. Something by Arcane I can't complain about. Yeah, the direct quote from the studio creative director is that Prey is not a sequel, it's not a remake, it has no tie with the original. You have to look at it as a reimagining of the IP, which almost just begs the question, why did you call it Prey to begin with then?
Yeah, that's what I have to wonder. What was the point?
Yeah,
Because people are just going to associate it with that,
yeah.
whether you want them to or not.
The upcoming game, simply called Prey, was apparently leaked in 2013 and doesn't use any of the assets from the cancelled sequel Prey 2. So yeah, no idea why they chose to call it Prey. Maybe because it would spur that familiar feeling and that audience nostalgia we were talking about in Discord the other night. Never gonna have a bigger audience than the one you already have.
Yeah, you're gonna go at it with the cost of losing the people who are your 20%. In business, we refer to that as the Pareto principle, and that's 80/20, meaning that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customer base. Therefore, that small attribution there is actually a big attribution from a smaller group, and that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you for that, Farmer Joe.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you're 20%, right? Like
Yeah,
that's basically your audience.
yeah. So the 20% of people that still remember and enjoyed Prey out of everybody that played it, you go, oh, sweet, a new Prey game, and everybody else goes, okay, this looks interesting. Which is weird because I imagine most people don't remember the original Prey fondly.
It's almost like if I'm like 50 years old and they're like World of Warcraft, and I'm like, what? And it's like, well, this is like a MOBA, so I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
The original Prey has a has a 9 on IGN and an 80 on Metacritic at the time of recording. So apparently it was actually a pretty decent game. I just don't remember hearing good things about it when it came out. But we'll see about this new one. It's exciting. Well, not exciting, but it has the potential to be done well. It's an interesting setting. It's definitely the kind of game my brother will enjoy, like that almost survival horror-y, but slightly more action. There's left as ground station for weapons and scientific gadgets which are not meant for combat, but somehow work out in combat. It will also feature supernatural powers, which can be learned from the alien enemies that inhabit the environment. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun time, I imagine. It's been a while since Bethesda and Arcane have put out a bad game. So I think if you're looking for something safe,
Very true.
Prey 2 or this new Prey, probably pretty safe bet, provided
Safe
you enjoy
bet.
those kind of games. But yeah, I think that with that last little bit, with my reminder from the agenda, that's gonna wrap up the gaming section because it's the week. Not a lot going on. And with that, we're going to go ahead and transition to the design, content creation, branding portion of the podcast, which Joe is in charge of. Say in charge of, because he's just the most informed typically when it comes to this kind of
I'm
stuff.
important.
There you go. One thing that I have noted in here this week is that there's a thing I found through a website I found through Product
Here's the
Hunt
thing.
called Web Design in 4 Minutes. I kind of wanted to pick your brain about that because it's almost like an interactive website teaching
Yeah,
you
did you
web
want to go
design.
through it? It's like using conditional logic to display at a rate that you can read it and not be distracted.
I don't know if I'll read the entire thing, but I can pull it up on stream here, possibly. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, yeah, so Web Design in 4 Minutes is made by Jeremy Thomas. First, it begins with, let's say you have a product, a portfolio, or just an idea that you want to share with everyone on your own website. Before you publish it on the internet, you want to make it look attractive, professional, or at least decent to look at. What's the first thing you need to work on? So important questions, kind of things we've talked about here before on the podcast. According to Mr. Thomas, that first thing is content. The purpose of design is to enhance the presentation of content it's applied to. Might sound obvious, but content being the primary element of a website should not be established as an afterthought. Written content, like the paragraph you're currently reading, makes up for more than 90% of the web. Styling this textual content will go a long way. Let's assume you've already finalized the content you want to publish and just created an empty style CSS file. It's the first rule you can write. It's kind of a big assumption on his end that people are able to create their own style sheets and are not using a template.
There's another big assumption early on too, like in like the first thing I noticed. I forget what it was. I'll look at it. But yeah, his concept is pretty good.
I think he covers the basics pretty well.
Primary element. Yeah, I mean, so you have to look at this as it's in the mind of a web developer slash maybe designer of some sort, but it's not written in the mind of a content creator, right? Because in content creation land, it's not about more. It's about, context or relevancy to the audience. I mean, there's obviously stages of content creation.
Yeah.
And that's why he's looking at it from this web perspective where it's like getting content on there will help you in like SEO and relevancy and building that initial audience. Growing it and refining it is the whole content marketing that comes into play.
So following content for him, it comes centering the content, picking a font family, adjusting the spacing, the colors and contrast, the balance, which is kind of a vague term, your primary and secondary colors for the site, the fonts you're going to use, adding images, logos, and share buttons. And as you go through the site, it kind of builds the tutorial site, I guess if you want to call that, the base site out as you click the different links, which you guys saw on the screen here. And the end result is a pretty, in my opinion, bland and okay looking blog style page. Very simple, but given that it's meant to display this single topic, I guess not anything too complex, like no navigation really, unless you want to click to go to his website. That's the only like external link other than the share buttons down below.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lead page, really.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, well, now that you've read how I do it, would you like to see my services?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really well done lead
this
page.
Tutorial. You can buy other tutorials from my website for the low price of.
And obviously, he's a good content marketer, right? Because we're talking about it now on a stream.
Yeah.
And we're promoting him, advocating for him. So it's a good piece because it works that way, where it's educational enough and layman enough to grab the attention of a broad audience and also support a discussion.
It's weird because, like you said, most of it's written out very simply, but most of the things that he discusses are things that, or in some instances, are things that only web designers are going to be familiar with, like style sheets.
Yeah.
And your CSS. It's just, he acknowledges that a style sheets exist, but for people new to web design, he doesn't explain what a CSS is, how to like set that up or anything like that. So he's telling people who already have a background in web design how to design on the web.
What to think of, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, these are the logical steps. Almost like writing pseudocode for the website as he walks you through this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense in a way that if you're like somebody who's looking to find that learning on their own, and you're like, okay, well, I do the code part. What can I add? You know?
Yeah. It's not the end design of that little 4-minute tutorial is not ugly by any means.
No.
I just think it's kind of boring. You can get a better product by using something like Squarespace at the end of the day, provided you don't make that too busy, because even though they
Yeah.
do the templates for you, you can add too much and still screw up those templates, and that's your own fault at that
Yeah, I
point.
think the nice thing about development is that you can control your own ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that's his goal too. It's just like this is meant for people who want to have that end control over every little bit,
Yeah.
whereas like people who turn to Squarespace just want it done for them, so that they don't have to worry about it. They just want it to look good and work, which is what Squarespace is good for.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios where you could even use that in business too.
Mhm.
Like maybe you don't have servers to support freelance web development, but you'll outsource it through Squarespace,
Yeah.
kind of in a way,
Mm.
like a
So
dropship dev.
yeah, and in the realm of the things that we discuss here, its relevance lies in marketing yourself essentially. If you want to build like a small landing page for people to find out about you and your content, it's a neat little thing to check out if you're looking to build up that lead page to sell yourself. And kind of an aggregate for all your sources, you could use something like that for that neat little tutorial. Other than that, if you're gonna go like full on giant community, you're gonna want something far more extensive and
Oh yeah, totally. If that was like a buffer post, you'd have all those things covered.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? That's more of like I'm putting content out there to create awareness.
Mm.
Because like one of the things that we learn is that you kind of have to not so much train but condition your existing customer base to
Yeah.
know how you sell. So providing those like little topics as they go into that, maybe once they get to the actual conversion point, they'll know enough that he can have a conversation with them and sell them on those things they're looking for.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, it's for the audience of more informed people or people who are looking for
Looking to get
buzzwords.
into it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice too because a bunch of the little tips he gives about like color and spacing and all that kind of stuff apply to just design and branding
In
in
general, yeah.
general. So it's helpful for people like myself who just want to slap something together in Photoshop real quick. There are important little things to like keep in the back of your head to make yourself look good, to make sure you have a professional look and you're well represented by the content you're putting out there if you're the one doing it yourself. Just handy to learn if you're starting out like we are, because it saves you
Yeah.
some money.
Yeah, I mean, like Adobe has a lot of these programs now where you can pull in Illustrator files and then Adobe files and
Mhm.
create web pages and stuff.
That's pretty neat.
It's kind of a joke though, as the code's like super shit. But yeah,
If
like
you're
I wouldn't
just
use it to make a real web page, but
maybe
if
like
you
an
don't
about
know,
me web page or something like
yeah,
that.
like if you don't know how to code and you need to make a cool-ish website and you can actually do graphic design, it's a good solution.
Form over
But
function kind of solution.
Dreamweaver has Bootstrap built in now, so I don't know why
Yeah,
like it's easy enough.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah, totally. I
Maybe
mean,
this
that's
is
kind of what it is,
uh,
is it gets you comfortable with code.
yeah.
It's never going to replace web design
No,
or web development, in that sense, but
low end simple solution for those looking to get something up and running quickly. I guess.
yeah.
You've dabbled in web design, Nick. I don't know if this article
Yeah, back in college and
uh,
a little bit.
Back in college,
revived
I
any
played
feelings,
a lot.
or if you agreed or disagreed with
uh,
this guy at all.
Um, I don't really have an opinion on it anymore, to be completely honest with you. I don't know. Lost my passion
Lost.
for web design in college. Midway through college.
Fair enough. I was just curious. See what you thought about it, all that fun stuff. I know for me it was a catchy little headline. It's a well put together headline. Buffer's written articles about headlines like these before. Web design in 4 minutes, Just like, oh, okay, how's that so quick? It's a full on like crash course in 4 minutes to build a very functional, a page designed to complete a very specific function. I guess it'd be the best way because there's no functionality to it other than redirecting you elsewhere.
Yeah, and I wouldn't really call a front end developer a designer.
Yeah.
You know, I would say a web designer is more of a image production
Mm.
role, where the front end developer deals more with the look and feel of the page that users interact with
Putting
using
it all together.
using basic like Java and CSS, HTML5.
It's fair enough.
But I mean, it's not a. I like the page. I think it's an interesting.
Yeah, just a neat little like discussion. Kill some time. Got a little bit of curiosity. It'll fulfill that. Yeah. Is there anything else going on in the world of design you'd like to talk about, Joe?
Um, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Slow
there's
week
not.
there too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I'm trying to think of this program I saw today. It's now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't think of it.
Hate it when that happens.
Um, uh, it's a visual design program.
What do you mean by visual design?
So like it is a combo of um, Photoshop and Illustrator, and that makes a visual design so that it's just better web output.
Okay.
So it allows for vector output and paint pixel output.
Hmm.
Um, it is called I want to say like Affinity
Yeah, not too soon.
Affinity Designer. That's what it's called.
I'll have to pull
So
it
it's
up.
a creative software for professional editing.
Affinity.serif.com. Serif's one of my favorite font families. The
Serif.
logo almost reminds me of the Vive logo, which is interesting.
Serif just means it has like the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Serifs.
Sometimes I like a nice serif font. Sometimes I like a sans serif font. Depending on Chrome, how you do this.
Oh fuck. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool programs coming out for like visual design, which is a lot of what mobile's going to, where it's this combination of application design and um, really well done mobile experiences through HTML and CSS. You know,
Okay.
so visual design is the experience component and the visual aspect of the website as far as images and creative content.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat. I'll have to include it in the link dump for those people who are interested in
Yeah, the
checking it
video is
out.
great. Just watch the video. I mean, it has a lot of like photo manipulation stuff that you can do in Photoshop, but there's a lot of things like grid that are built in that are really fucking awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So you don't
I
have
have
to
to
make your
check
own
out.
grids anymore.
Just something I know you love doing,
Yeah, it's
especially
fucking
when coming up
terrible.
with logos. Yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the 6th episode of Left Foot Culture Podcast. Thank you guys as always for joining us. My name is Chris. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/ChrisButlerII. That little spelled right there, right underneath our profiles, each of us. I'm also now regularly uploading content to my YouTube channel, which I will include a link for in the description down below. Tuesdays, right now, we got inside gameplay footage going up, and Thursdays are new episodes of the GTA community cutting stunts videos, which have been a ton of fun. Following Inside, I might be uploading some Headlander stuff, which is a lot of fun. I might even do that as a bonus video while it's still relevant, so it's not delayed too much. I think we got 3 more episodes in Inside, so that's wrapping up over the next couple weeks. And then you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/cbutler2067, where I do daily streams for the most part, with Thursdays being the exception because of the podcast. Variety streamer over there, stream just about everything you can think of. A lot of Overwatch lately, a lot of other smaller games like Headlander. Yeah, come hang out. It's a good time. Love talking to you people.
Say cunning stunts 3 times fast.
Yeah, I've already mistakenly called
I
it
like
something else.
had to slow down when I said it there, not to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easily done, especially in like the midst of the video. Just like, oh, stunning. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, how about
Yeah, I
you?
mean, could see how that happens.
Yeah. How about you, Joe? What do you got coming up this week? What do you got going on? Where
Um,
can people follow you? All that fun stuff.
I've just been working on this charity group that I work for through work called Rock for a Cause, and we have an event coming up in November. So I've been working with my intern, who has been doing all the illustration for the project, which is really cool, and she designed the logo for it, and
Nice.
then we went through Illustrator and kind of traced that and set that up, and then yeah, just been kind of figuring out how to get this event, get sponsors, get bands interested. It's been pretty cool to like be involved in the local music scene. It's kind of like one of my passions, you know, so
Very cool.
it's been awesome to be able to like contribute to it with web and graphic design and stuff.
Yeah, bring your strengths to a rockin' cause.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's cool.
Got any? Gonna be streaming some Overwatch this week.
Yeah,
Soon.
I am so like bad with schedules that I can't commit to any time, but I'm
That's
usually
fine.
on like at like 8 o'clock at night
So yeah.
and I'll stream. And if nobody comes and joins me, I get off.
Yeah. So Joe streams on both the Left Click Culture account, which we're streaming from right now. So you're already here. You know where to follow that. And then his personal stream is Strongside X. So if you want to follow him on Twitch, you can follow him there. And what about you, Nick? What's
Um,
going
you
on?
can follow me on
Yeah.
Twitter and at Dill Pickles with 2 eyes in the pickles there, you know.
Mhm.
I got some stuff non-gaming related going on that I'm doing this weekend, so I don't know how much games I'm gonna play, but I'll be around. I'll probably play some Overwatch, whatever way to, depending on what everyone else is doing.
Very cool.
That's really about it.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you same time. Probably not same time. Hopefully not same time. On time next week. Same place. 8 o'clock
See you on
Eastern.
time next week. Year later. We'll see you on time next week.
We'll try. We'll try our hardest.
We'll
But
be
yeah,
here. That's all that matters.
twitch.tv/leftclickculture, 8 o'clock Eastern for episode 7. Until then, goodbye.
Until next time.